Hey everyone, welcome to GameSpot's Indie Mix live stream. I'm Mike Mahardy. I'll be hosting throughout the day. We have a couple hours of indie devs coming in. They're flying in from all over the world for GDC, showing off their games, going to be doing some panels and everything. So we figured we have all these intelligent people right down the street from us here in San Francisco. Why not bring them in and show off their game? I'm here with Petri. And you came here from New York yesterday, or a few days ago, but you're working out of Finland.
Yes, that is
correct. And you're working with a guy named Ali who made the Swapper, but you yourself made Crayon Physics Deluxe.
Yes.
So now you teamed up on the game that we're about to see. Each game we're going to play for about 20 minutes today. We're going to be playing Noita, which is one of the ones I'm really excited about because it's kind of right up my alley as far as roguelites go. But yeah, like how's your GDC week going so far? I guess it just started, right? Like
it very much
this is your first thing?
Like I picked up my badge and my speaker back and then had to come here.
So we got you before you're all tired out and everything.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah,
I mean, I had to travel, so.
Cool. Well, let's jump right in. I don't want to waste too much time. So this is Noita. Give me like the elevator pitch. What kind of game is it? What can we expect as we're playing?
Well, originally the name of the game, like as we were working on it, it was called Wizard Physics.
Okay.
And our marketing department, which is, I mean, one of us figured out that that's not going to be the best name for this game. It's not going to be selling, so we figured out with this awesome name Noita, which no one can pronounce.
Okay. But I thought it was like Milanoir or something. But
I know. I know. But
I like Noita.
Yeah, but Wizard Physics essentially tells you what you do in this game. So it's like there's physics.
Okay.
It means we have this custom engine, and we're essentially simulating all the pixels in the game, and they have like physical properties.
Okay.
So for example, here you see here are some lanterns, and if I shoot at them, they will leak some oil, and then they will start burning.
Okay.
And if I hang around too much, like there's some water here, but if I hang around in the oil, I'll probably get covered in oil, and then I will ignite more easily.
Oh, okay, cool. So wait, so you're like more flammable later on? Okay, cool.
Yeah. And then we have essentially other things. So the other part of it is like you're a wizard and you're casting these spells. And then essentially what you do in this game, it's an action roguelite. So you're trying to essentially get as deep as possible in these caverns, which are procedurally generated.
Okay.
So, and what that means is this is going to be, it's going to be over if I die.
Okay. So, but like as a roguelite, you do carry over some progression between lives?
At the moment, there's some of that in the plans, but there's not that much of it currently in the game. So essentially, what will happen if I die is that's going to be it. So.
Oh man, they're coming right at you.
Yeah, this is tough. He's also leaking this poisonous radioactive material.
Oh, okay.
And if I touch it, that was gonna damage me. But luckily, no. I thought I got him on fire. Oh god.
Where'd that fire come from? Was there a lantern?
Yeah, I think I think that guy busted the lantern.
Oh, okay.
And I mean, this is all wood, so it's burning. Yeah, I got that guy.
Nice.
Now
cool,
this is looking a bit nasty to get back. I'll try to not touch that stuff.
Do you have unlimited like thrust for that?
No, it's here.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, cool.
Trust is here. Here's my HP I'm already at 60, so this is not going too well. But
you're saying you're more of a patient kind of player?
I am.
Conservative?
I try to play conservatively.
Okay, I'm usually like that in something like Rogue Legacy or Risk of Rain.
Yeah, it's especially like when it's a permadeath.
Sure,
feel like. So like, for example, you can munch some blood here if you want. But
did that give you? What did that do?
That currently doesn't do that much.
Okay. Looks pretty badass.
Yeah. So I will try and make it get to do a little bit of progress here, so we get to actually see what's happening next. So the other weapon I have here, or magic wand I have here, is this sort of a thing that generates these huge bombs that destroys all the environment.
Yeah, okay. Is there any specific games that you guys looked at as far as inspiration? I mean, Spelunky, Rogue Legacy come to mind for me.
Yeah, Spelunky definitely is a big influence for us. We've played a lot of Spelunky.
Yeah.
There are some other games which is like probably I don't know if people know that, but there's a game called Liero, which is a Finnish shareware game from, I think, 1999 or something.
Okay.
It's like real-time worms. So essentially go in and you destroy everything in it.
Gotcha.
So one of the things here is like, here is this huge pool of lava, which I doubt I will be able to get on the other side too right now, but there could be a way. Let's see.
Is it like a dynamic soundtrack, it sounds like, the music, or is that just like timing? It kicked in?
It is somewhat dynamic at the moment.
Some like trombones, it sounds like, trumpets maybe?
Yeah.
The brass kicks in?
And we got the music from a band called From Grotto. It's a Finnish band. Okay, this is a huge pool of oil.
Okay.
And here's a exploding box. So if I shoot that, it's gonna set all of this on fire.
That looks really good.
The problem is I'm covered in oil, which makes me extremely flammable, but I will try and get to the other side here without dying.
So what aspects of the game did you... That doesn't look like an enemy you want to face right now, does it?
No, this is cool.
So there's, as is the case with some roguelites, there's bad luck every once in a while, right?
Yeah, there's these guys, and they're extremely rare in this area, but apparently one of them appeared here.
Right away?
Yeah. It's really cool because he ends up eating everything, and you can actually get some pathways through that, but he's also very dangerous.
Oh, that's awesome.
I will not go there yet.
Okay. So is there like a risk-reward factor in Spelunky? Like in Spelunky, you have to kind of decide whether to keep staying in an area and gathering gold for items, or just like get through it. Does that come into play here as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
So when you kill enemies, you see they drop gold, which I get here, and I have my HP, and my HP. I mean, obviously, if I lose HP, I will die. I'm trying to get, like, here is a pickup. This will give me some heart containers. Okay. So if I pick this up, I will now have more.
Oh, so that's like...
So my maximum health is now increased, but my actual health hasn't. This guy seems kind of nasty. Let me deal with them using this exploding barrel. If I drop it there,
nice shot.
Explode it and kill those things. Let's do it with this guy. Okay, I think that's gonna burn and hopefully explode at some point.
There we go.
Oh yeah.
Is that poison right there? Just a big vat?
This is a big vat of poison, essentially. And let's see if we can explode that and get that guy covered in poison and he's on fire.
It's funny because, like, I mean, it's a gorgeous game, but like the physics is so much more involved than you might think just from looking at screenshots or something.
Yeah.
Is that, like, right there? That.
Yeah. Let's see. All right, we got him. He's covered in poison.
Assuming that's just damage over time.
Yeah. He's also a bit dangerous. Luckily, he's dead. Yeah, so there's another wand here that I could pick up. If I kill these guys first.
So that'd be like your third weapon?
Yes. Okay. Fourth in this case. I have here 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, gotcha.
So my plan was actually, so what you get is you get these wands from the levels. You also get some gold, hopefully. And once you're sort of hopefully done, and you, oh my god. Oh, that guy's nasty. Okay. Okay, I made it. Nice. So then you get to this teleport, and what this teleport does is it teleports you into this area. Oh no, I'm poisoned, but luckily if I dip myself into this water, it will heal it. So when you get here, you get this heart, and this will give you back all your health. So now I'm actually back at 125, and then you get to the shop part where you can buy things. Okay. Which, damn, this would have been cool, but unfortunately it's too expensive. So let's get this thing.
Electrocution field. That sounds useful.
And so when you actually get here, then you get to modify your wands and make your own spells out of these. So Unfortunately, I don't have too much stuff now, but you get more as you progress in the game. So now let's put this electrocution field into this wand. So now when I fire this, it'll create this field and electrocute anything in it.
Okay.
So luckily I am immune to it. So we will go and try and use that in the next area.
So it's like an AoE attack?
Yeah.
Cool.
So usually what happens is when you get here, this place collapses so you can't get back. But remember that worm that just happened to spawn there? That allows us to have this backdoor entrance into the previous area.
So that actually worked out. The fact that he didn't kill you was nice, though.
Yeah.
Would that portal go to another?
No, it goes to the same place there.
Oh, okay, cool.
So all of them point. And if I go there, then I'm probably somewhat stuck. Maybe I can explode this possibly, but I will not hopefully go there. But I could go now, actually go back and get some better stuff. Cool. But I will actually do some bit of progress.
And that's not going to necessarily happen every time, right? That worm just happened to show up.
No, that's extremely rare for that guy to happen up there.
We lucked out for the stream.
Yeah. So here's a chest that gives you a bunch of gold. So that allows me to find more things. Okay. You can see that worm guy has been busy in this area.
Yeah, I was going to say, he keeps going down.
Like, this is a nest that spawns these guys that shoot these fireballs. Now I'm on fire. Luckily get some water, so I will get...
How long would you burn if there wasn't water? It's not indefinite.
No, it depends. Like if I'm covered in something flammable, then I will burn a lot longer.
So you said you're a pretty conservative player as far as taking your time goes. Is there anything stopping you from taking as much time as you want in each area, gathering everything?
No, not really. Okay. You could take, I mean, the thing that's stopping you from doing that is it is deadly out here, not just by means of the enemy, but the environment is deadly. Yeah. Like here, if I'm not paying attention, this fire can sort of come here and set me on fire, and then that's going to be a huge pain. There are also like, it's
interesting. I mean, you say you're inspired by Spelunky, of course, and I think like any roguelike nowadays is going to be in some way because of how influential it was. But the systemic stuff that comes out of these environmental effects it seems super unique as far as what you're doing, and that's really cool because even like you look at AAA games nowadays, and like most recent Zelda is even going for that emergent systems kind of gameplay.
Oh yeah.
And how things interact, and that's really cool to see it in a like in a roguelike.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that has been one of those things it's been really cool working on this game. Is all the sort of crazy things that happen.
Like that?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm assuming, do you have any, I mean, maybe not specific anecdotes, but anytime I hear a developer making some game with like interlapping systems, like they always see stuff that they didn't even know could happen.
Yeah, well, we had, at the beginning of the working process, we had like these deers that would be moving around, and then we added that the deers would, they would have to eat something, so they went around and eating some grass and whatnot. Yeah. Then they'd get, they would have to go and take a piss. And we simulated that, so there'd be piss coming out of there. But what we didn't realize is that they will go into the bottom of like here, they would go down here, and they would pee around, and they would drown in their own pee.
Oh my god.
And then we found all these dead deer everywhere.
That's like
drowned in their own pee.
I was just reading, have you gotten the chance to play much Dwarf Fortress?
I have not.
Did you hear the story about the drunk cats? Yeah.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. That is a game I really should play, but I also know like
it's like the epitome of like interlapping systems just on a complex level. That's really cool though. I mean, that something like that exists in this game. So
the enemies don't pee anymore.
Okay. That's good to know. What is this pink fluid?
This pink fluid is slime, and if I get stuck in it, I will be very slow.
Gotcha.
And you can use that to your advantage to get your enemies stuck in there.
Okay.
Here's a treasure chest that gives you a bunch of gold.
So what's your ultimate goal? Like, if say you have a successful run, what do you have to do at the end?
At the end, well, you have to find this magical thing that is at the end of it. Okay. And there's a bunch of these levels here. Currently, I think we have about 8 of them here.
Okay.
I don't know what is going to be in the game that we release. Might change.
Okay.
Depending on that. But let's see if we can make it to the next one. The next one's kind of cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there's the portal again. And you got,
Yes.
what, 200 gold?
Yeah.
Cool.
We'll see what we can buy with that. All right, there's more. All right, let's get.
How many different like purchasable items are there or effects? It looks like there's a lot.
There is a lot. I actually don't know the exact amount, how many of them.
And so could you combine something with the electrocution field?
Yeah.
So you just start, okay, mixing and matching.
Yeah.
Oh, so even there the systems start coming, like clashing with each other. Or not clashing, but coalescing.
But yeah, you can kind of like create very,
cool. That's awesome.
very interesting things here.
Cool.
Unfortunately, we didn't get anything that I could have shown here.
We wouldn't want to show off everything.
Yeah.
Just tease it.
So.
Will these things always play out in the same order, like Mines, Holy Mountain, Snowy Depths?
Yes.
So you kind of have like those mental benchmarks.
Yeah, you kind of know what's happening here. So in this area, there's this bunch of ice and snow, and I can crack this ice here.
Cool. Would that damage someone if it fell on them?
Yes.
Cool.
If I can get in here. Okay, see, this is kind of interesting.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you hit your max inventory or weapon?
Yeah.
Equipped.
So now I have to select which things I keep, but we will see what this one does. I'm not actually 100% certain. Okay. It's shooting at these guys that are leaking acid.
You're still controlling the projectile after you shoot it, it looks like?
No, it's that projectile is seeking enemies. So
okay,
it's actually going around. Oh no. Oh god. Oh. Okay, I'm fire. I can melt this.
Are these tunnels from the same worm?
Huh?
Are these tunnels from the same worm that you saw way at the beginning?
It is very possible it's the same worm.
That's really cool.
It's been busy. Oh god.
So that could either lead you to some cool new areas or screw you over.
Oh my god. Yes. I am probably going to die here soon.
It might actually be perfect timing. You can end with an epic firefight.
Try.
Oh!
Try and use this. Okay, let's see if we can rush it.
There's a lot going on. Oh, that's awesome. So that's like obviously you probably wouldn't have rushed as much if
no,
you had more
no,
time.
I would have taken my
awesome
time.
Well, that's actually unfortunately all the time we have. But Petri, thank you so much for showing Noita. Anything else? So like it's gonna be in early access. You don't have a specific date or time window yet, but you are working on it with Ollie and the third.
Cool. Yeah.
And you'll be showing it off at GDC this week and everything.
Yes.
Will you be at the Indie Mix stream tonight by any chance?
Yes, I will be there.
I will see you there then as
excellent.
well. But yeah, this was a great game to kick it off. I love roguelikes. I know a lot of our audience does too. But thank you so much for coming in and showing off the game.
Thank you for having us here.
Yeah, absolutely. It was fun. But everybody watching, we will be right back. We are going to be showing Black Future 88. We'll have like 5 more games we're going to show today until 1 p.m. Pacific. But thank you so much for joining, and stick around. We'll be right back.
great because I'm terrible at names. So.
Hey everyone, how's it going? We are back with Black Future 88. I'm here with Zach and Don, and I'm Mike if you're just joining. Again, we are going to be playing a bunch of indie games, some of the more exciting ones that we wanted to show off throughout the week here at GDC, as we have a bunch of these really talented, intelligent designers here in San Francisco, right down the street from them. So how's it going, guys?
Nice. So going really, really well.
Yeah? So you just got in one like yesterday, or are you
just
yesterday?
Actually, I live here. I'm an Oakland native.
Oh, perfect.
So,
cool. Sweet.
Yeah.
So you didn't have to come too far. But anyway, we are going to be playing Black Future 88. So I guess elevator pitch, Zach, or Don, I guess, Zach,
Sure.
you're going to be playing. I'll kind of angle most of the questions at Don, but obviously feel free to chime in whenever.
Cool.
So pitch me Black Future 88 while we're getting into it right now.
So Black Future 88 is a brutal cyberpunk roguelike, but the way that it's a roguelike and the way that cyberpunk might kind of surprise a lot of people.
Okay.
So you only have 18 minutes to live before your heart explodes.
Naturally.
So yeah, just like, you know, everyday life.
Non-fiction game?
Non-fiction game. And it's kind of cyberpunk in the vein more along like RoboCop 2. It's got the morality system of RoboCop 2.
Okay.
So Zach's playing the new character Ghost, which has the black nail, which basically kind of freezes time a little bit when it swaps.
Okay.
And also teleports. It basically swaps places with whatever you shoot.
And it blows up your enemy, it looks like.
Yeah, there's... the Ghost is also a very low health character. You should probably grab the electron pistol.
Cannon type, I guess, to be reductive.
You got VX-20. VX-20 is one of our favorite future drugs from 1988 that's in the game.
Yeah.
There's actually a pretty complex drug addiction mechanic in the game where if you do too many drugs, your health bar gets infected and it might explode if you take damage to one of those squares.
Dang, okay.
Yeah.
But of course the drugs also have buffs in the time you take them and everything.
Yeah, exactly, and they're temporary. They usually last until you take damage. So it's just kind of a way of kind of optimizing. You know, do you go for immediate but cheap power versus longer lasting but more expensive power?
Okay, cool.
So.
Yeah. And you said it might be surprising how you use cyberpunk in this game. What do you mean by that?
For me, I think film is a really big reference. This is gonna be really off the wall, but the dance scene from The Running Man.
Yes.
That's kind of informed a large part of the game.
That's all you had to say, and I'm sold. Okay.
The dance scene from Running Man. Unfortunately, the dance scene wasn't in the book, but it should have been. Maybe they'll do a sequel with a dance scene in it.
Here's hoping.
So.
Okay, awesome. So that's like the aesthetic you're going for? Awesome.
Yeah, but you climb a procedural tower to kill its insane owner. You only have 18 minutes to live, but it's kind of tracked more like football time. So it kind of stops, it starts.
1620 up there, I see under that.
Yeah.
Is that your health, the blue?
Yeah, blue's health. There's a little money counter there.
Okay.
Dashing is a really primary mechanic in the game.
Okay.
So you can dash through walls, though not in this build, you have to upgrade that. So as you kill bosses, you get to upgrade your dash. Okay. And you get to eventually weaponize it, and you get to have more dashes, longer dashes, faster dashes, laser dashes. Zach's other gun, the Black Nail, ran out of ammo. Okay. So when a gun runs out of ammo, it turns into a melee weapon, and you can basically club things to death with it. Oh, awesome. But it still has like its properties that it had. So since that was a teleporting railgun, you'll still swap places with things. Okay. So you can hit them from underneath the platform, then pop up like right next to them, or swap places with them. So it's kind of used. You can actually escape and engage really quickly with it. Okay. Yeah. Try Runnels.
There you go.
Yeah. We're gonna start unlocking stuff because we're gonna.
So there is progress from. Yeah. Okay, cool. So that's like the roguelite element, I guess you want to say.
It's not grindy like how some games kind of make you grind out kind of persistent power. As you play the game, it's still permadeath, but you unlock things that can now happen in the tower. Okay. And it's not necessarily more powerful, it's usually just more complicated. Okay. So if you actually go to quit run. Oh, sure. Yeah, you go to quit run. Let's use a different character really fast. Like Runnels? Yeah. So
there are individual characters.
Yeah, there's 5. Cool. Ghost is kind of a work in progress and is very perfectionist driven. Okay. We do the daily challenge if it works.
Is it a DeLorean?
Yeah, well, it's actually modeled after the Toyota MR2, which is kind of the best car ever made in terms of aesthetics.
Sort of. Yeah.
So you're actually going to play as Sue, which is Sue is a drug dealer or a drug addict. You're going to start with some interesting buffs.
That entrance is awesome.
Yeah. So, the rocket launcher is a great way to get yourself killed.
Okay.
Yeah, rocket weapons are a high risk, high reward, but mostly high risk. Oh, there's a secret right there.
You say he's a drug addict?
Yeah. So you can see one of Sue's health bars is
it's just
really having a hard time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you lose that, you're done.
Yeah, you'll take a lot of damage and it'll likely kill you.
What is that drug? What's the positive effect of this drug addiction that he has?
You get to talk to the drug dealer for free.
Oh,
and, so Zach actually
got the hookup?
Yeah,
nice.
He found a secret portal.
Okay.
So the tower itself is cursed. It's the story is basically this AI contraption come to life into the tower, and it was built by the main boss of the game, Duncan.
Okay.
But it turns out the tower itself is alive and is actually like the true final boss.
Okay.
Cool. So.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it is a fairly difficult game. It's kind of the difficulty is along the lines of Binding of Isaac. So.
Sure. I was gonna say, like, I was thinking of Binding of Isaac. I was thinking Spelunky, I guess, as far as like what kind of games influenced you guys on making this.
I think I think for me, feel was a really big starting point.
Okay.
So I actually, once I got like the systems, oh, you should free him and then go left because, yeah, I need to take that room out of the demo. For me, game feel was really the starting point for a lot of things after kind of the prototype had proven itself out. So I kind of followed the 40 Vlambeer tips. Oh. You exploded yourself to death. Your blood exploded.
So obviously it's a challenging game.
Yeah. Oh, you didn't rank too high in the dailies. That's a bummer.
You almost supplanted #1.
Yeah. So the Vlambeer 40 tips for a cool action game was a really good starting point.
Oh, sure, yeah.
And then I kind of came up with like 20 more things that I thought were really important to the Black Future game.
Okay.
So I've kind of pushed the idea of feel as far as I think I can take it.
Cool.
It's really fun.
Are there any like of those tenets? Like, what can you want to name? Like maybe a few that you came up with?
For me, kind of slowing down time is a thing that I take very seriously.
Okay.
I use it really differently on a lot of weapons. There's about, like, each weapon has maybe 40 or 50 different attributes.
Yeah.
So when you shoot something, there's knockback, there's recoil, there's ammo use. It might stall you in the air for a little bit, so you can kind of slow down your own rate of fall.
Okay.
It might freeze time. And for me, time is really always going to be the central core thing of the game that makes it unique.
I mean, the clock's literally ticking the whole time too.
Yeah. In some rooms, the time is stopped, like when you're in a shop or in a an upgrade menu. Like, there's no reason. That should be a thoughtful choice. So don't make it stressful for the players. Oh, that's a drug. That's VX20, one of the best drugs in the world.
Yeah.
So now Zach's rate of fire and damage is much faster.
Nice.
And he has 1 point of armor. But if he takes damage, he'll lose his VX20 buff.
Gotcha.
So. Yeah, there's a lot of curse items in the game. Also, let me actually back up. The tower actually upgrades itself. So as you leave stuff on the ground, like money or ammo, the tower makes itself stronger. So
using that, like supposedly using the money now?
Yeah, so it'll actually release hunters to come out and find you, and they're all named, and they have names that might ring a bell if you've seen The Running Man, but are not actually taken from The Running Man. There are things like Barrage, and kind of American Gladiator themed.
Sure. Laser and taser and
exactly.
Okay.
So the game world is made from 5 continuous zones. So there's not really any loading screens once you get into the game.
Cool.
So Zach found the stasis pistol, which is basically an energy weapon that makes things fall when you hit them. Okay. So that's pretty neat. A lot of content is highly interactive with each other.
Yeah, I was gonna say, noticing it. It immediately is aesthetically pleasing, and like you said, the slowing down time and the platform itself looks like it would just feel good. But it looks like there are a lot of systems interacting right now that are not immediately apparent until you understand the game more.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe simple to learn, difficult to master, but even so, it seems like there's a lot going on that I would need to dig into.
Yeah, and that's part of how the unlocking stuff works, because there's actually a lot of complicated weapons that do things. Like, One of the guns actually uses time as its ammo source.
Oh, okay.
It's super strong, but using it is literally killing you. So.
Oh, does it take away from your overall that clock?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
So it uses time as its ammo resource. So this is the Juno and Jupiter boss fight. Zach's gonna die, and it's not gonna be pretty. It's
it's a robot and it's
it's kind of a boy and a dog dynamic, where the dog is a giant machine named after a classic synthesizer, and the boy is a giant man named after a classic synthesizer.
Okay.
Juno and Jupiter.
I was gonna mention the soundtrack is awesome too.
Oh, thanks. That's my band.
Awesome.
We're Tremolo. We're from the Bay Area, and we play a lot of shows.
Sweet. I'll check them out.
So the soundtrack has been a really big project for us, and we're starting to play these songs live.
That's awesome.
We're actually at the DNA Lounge tomorrow night, playing mostly black feature set.
Cool. That's good timing with GDC, right?
Oh yeah. It's so fortuitous how that.
It's coincidental.
It's almost like we worked on it.
Yeah. Serendipity.
You might do it. You might do it.
Yeah, I might
so
do
you might do it.
What is Jupiter using? It looks like a lightsaber, I have to say.
Yeah. It's energy. It's a beam weapon.
Right.
Energy sword. So since he killed Juno,
he's really cool looking.
They got he enraged Jupiter. Kind of similar to the Ornstein and Smog boss fight from Dark Souls 1.
Oh, right.
That boss fight was a huge kind of design reference for how this one might work.
Okay.
Even though the game systems are totally different.
Nice.
Nice. So what are you gonna get? So we're gonna get to the. That's the Jupiter signature buff. It's pretty good, but
do you get a choice of which one to use? Or
yeah,
you get all three?
There's kind of a random assortment. You only get to pick one. And each boss has its own particular one. So if you kill Jupiter, that's the only way to get the that one.
I love
the text. It's very small text.
I noticed before that went away. I love the names of those upgrades, like Second Thoughts, Remorse Suppressor.
Yeah,
just emotional things.
Yeah, it's oh dude, he only gives you raw deals, but do you do it? He looks safe. He looks friendly. He looks. Oh, you got the Night Piercer. That's the best one. That's the best thing you could have gotten. So now you can dash actually through platforms,
cool.
and you can just really be the assassin you were always meant to be.
Sweet.
And you got the cooldown buff, so now your dash is much faster. Yeah. All right. Found another secret.
It's been like pretty fortuitous upgrades. You just got the last few times.
He's having a pretty lucky run, I'd say. There's actually a secret combo system in the game.
Okay.
I try not to put numbers on the screen, but so the sequence optimizer. This I think it means your guns don't take ammo if your combo level is 4 or above.
I'm gonna try to keep up.
Yeah, so don't get hit. And don't. Yeah, so your combo level is actually the amount of smoke that's on you. So as you kill things quickly and don't take damage, the smoke around the player increases. Just like real life.
Yeah.
Can't even remember the amount of times that's happened to me.
The realism in this game is just daunting.
Oh yeah. As a father to a 4.5-year-old, this is basically every day. It's modeled after my everyday experience.
You might not even have to like teach him or her anything. She'll just play the game and understand.
Yeah, she's like, oh yeah. Oh nice.
No.
Oh, Dynamo's coming for you.
Speaking of drugs, this game just feels like a cocaine acid trip.
Yeah,
it looks like it. I wouldn't know. I'm just saying like.
I mean, I don't know anything about that. But yeah, I think the color goal is basically Guardians of the Galaxy 2, but mixed with Lisa Frank.
Nice. Nice. Okay. Yeah. Exactly.
If there's a color I haven't seen, I want it, in the game.
Yeah.
So goals. So Dynamo's going to come for you in a room or two. Dynamo's not going to be your friend, but Dynamo always drops a weapon. So
yeah, I'm excited about that.
Is Dynamo a hunter?
Dynamo's a hunter.
Okay, gotcha. I like that you're going. I mean, I don't know if this is intentional or not, but most of these kind of games you're going down. In the ones that I'm thinking of, you're descending. This one, literally the opposite.
Yeah, it's pretty much the only building left of any purpose in the world, and you're going up there to destroy it. It's kind of that personal nihilism that fulfills how it describes how I parent my child too.
Gotcha.
So.
It's very like semi-autobiographical stuff going on.
Exactly.
It's going to be the next one, I think.
Yeah. Oh, the skull icon always points the way to the boss. All right,
there he is.
That's Dynamo?
That's Dynamo.
He's coming in to be a jerk.
Yeah, he's coming for you. Oh, man. Oh, he's coming for you.
So between the laser and the actual like bulbous projectiles, do you have like a secondary and primary right now?
Yeah, you only have 2 weapons. Oh, the paycheck is really good.
The names of these things are so good. The paycheck.
You take the paycheck? Oh, you took.
Yeah.
So the paycheck that actually uses your money as its ammo source.
Oh,
the electronic shotgun's pretty good.
Yeah,
So it's extremely powerful. But using it, you didn't get it, and now the tower's gonna upgrade itself.
Yeah.
I think it did. So you only have a little bit to pick up things off the ground before the tower eats it.
Okay.
Really want the tower to feel alive, and still working on it.
Yeah. It's so weird. Like you mentioned earlier, this is a very, very weird reference. You know, the movie in theaters right now, or I think it just left, Annihilation.
Oh, I haven't seen it, but I hear it's excellent.
The book it's based off of has this thing that like a lot of people. Well, I don't want to spoil anything, but there's a living tower that they descend into.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
It's just weird hearing you say this over and over, and I'm thinking like I wish I could talk about that more, but I doubt many people have read it.
Oh man.
But yeah, you should see the movie. It's unreal. It's really good. It's going to Netflix in like a week.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Paramount sold it to Netflix or something. And
amazing.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, you got trouble, son.
Yeah, I'm getting.
Oh my God.
It's the Prophet 5, classic synthesizer made in Bay Area. So good. So.
First boss, really?
So this is your first. Wait, Juno and Jupiter wasn't the first boss?
What's the first one we did?
Oh, that was
this is the second boss. So the bosses are random. But they actually get harder the later you encounter them.
Okay.
Right now they just have more health, but they're going to be more aggressive. They're going to shoot more bullets, and they're also going to have new abilities the later you find them in the game.
Okay.
Similar to Binding of Isaac, but I think we're going to really double down on new boss abilities.
Sure.
He's a little stuck in the platform. Oh, you got him.
Nice.
You got him on a roll.
This is the best run I've ever done.
Yeah. So you're about to enter the power center, which is kind of a very experimental area. Second thoughts. So now you have 2 dashes. So now.
That's what second thoughts is? Okay.
Yeah. So you have 2 little.
So how would you, is it easy to say right now? Maybe you don't know, but like 9 minutes left. Is that good on time for the point you're at?
He's doing pretty well.
Okay.
He probably needs to hurry it up though.
Yeah, I need to get on this platform.
Probably need a double jump, then double dash. Oh, nice. Oh, the power center.
Ooh.
Zach just sprited that, I don't know, 3 days ago or something.
Yeah, this tall head guy.
Yeah.
So Zach, wait, so I'm assuming you do like the art?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Cool.
He's, we have, it's a really small team. We have about 3 or 4 people working on the game.
Okay.
And Zach started doing the initial concepting of the concept art.
Okay.
And then he's lately, we've kind of moved out of concepting and really just into production. And Zach's been doing really good spriting work.
What kind of, as far as your portfolio goes, what are some past experience, some past projects you've worked on?
For myself?
Yeah.
I was at Kixeye really early on, so I worked on a lot of games at Kixeye, and they were kind of mobile mid-core. But then I spent about 3 years working on a MOBA called Tome.
Okay.
And we fought in the MOBA wars valiantly, but like many people,
except for like 2 games.
yeah. You know, we're not Dota and we're not LOL, so that's kind of speaks for itself.
Yeah.
So MOBAs are really hard to make, and kind of the system design, it kind of really informed the Black Future system design. Okay. In terms of like, I don't know, architecture and engineering stuff.
Yeah.
But this is really my first time as an indie, and I'm really into it.
Cool. This is my first project, like, out of college, really.
Oh,
so
really?
I'm
Awesome.
like really thankful to be picked up by Don.
That's awesome. So do you live in the area as well, Zach?
No, I'm actually from, I went to school in Baltimore.
Okay.
I went to MICA, and so I was, traveling the country to come see this thing.
Sweet. The music is really awesome. I like it a lot. It's right up my alley too. I mean, I love this kind of stuff.
I think for me, like, Perturbator, not exactly like what he does, but how he does it is a huge reference. Like, really going for distortion, risers, everything is saturated like to the nines.
I probably shouldn't bring it up if the name is escaping me, but one of his songs, there's a music video for it that's unreal. It's one of
the new album.
I don't believe so. It's like the spaceships are shaped like crucifixes, and then it's this dude like breaking this girl out of this prison and driving around in like a '69 Corvette.
Is that Turbo Killer? Is that
that is Turbo Killer?
Yeah, it's Carrion Brute.
Carpenter Brute. I'm getting
their
mixed up
new
with
album is
Perturbator.
awesome. Leatherteeth.
Yes. Okay, thank you. That is Carpenter Brute.
What's funny about Leatherteeth is they did, this is so random, they did a tour promo video. Not for the album, just for the tour they're doing. And it's just like the European leg of the tour, but it was a sick live action promo video.
Yeah.
With this character that's like all metal face. That's like actually a really strong character reference for some of the new work we're doing.
Okay.
It's like, dude, this is so sick.
Okay.
This guy is so metal.
So yeah, I just got them mixed up. It shows how much I really know, but I think they were at DNA Lounge maybe a couple of years ago or something.
Yeah,
maybe that's where I saw
Perturbator at DNA.
He's gonna be at DNA.
Yeah, we're playing main stage DNA. It's actually like a huge career point for us.
That's awesome.
So
and that's tomorrow night.
yeah,
Cool.
Yeah,
I want to try to go to that.
it's gonna be really fun.
If it's not sold out yet.
Yeah, Ben Prunty is playing, which is awesome.
Oh really?
Yeah.
From Faster Than
FTL,
Light and now
Faster
Into the
Than-
Breach.
Yeah.
Have you played Into the Breach yet?
I haven't.
not yet.
It's really good.
I really can't wait to get it. I keep seeing people just like on Twitter amazed at it. Oh,
Yeah.
you're gonna pull the switch? Oh,
Yeah.
so you can actually pull a switch and ask for a hunter to come into the game.
Okay.
And that's kind of more of an
cool.
advanced tactic, so that you can really try to get a good weapon.
Oh yeah. I mean,
That's
I'm
for
advanced.
confident players, and Zach is nothing if not a confident player. So
Absolutely.
I'm only mentioning comparison to Dark Souls because you brought it up earlier. Everybody compares like things to Dark Souls now,
Yeah.
but that kind of seems like the Dark Souls invasion system.
yeah, very very much like it. But that is actually very much straight lifted from the movie Running Man.
Okay.
Just everyone's cheering like, yeah, send in
Yeah.
buzzsaw.
Oh man, I need to go back and watch that again. Seen
It
that a
hasn't
couple
actually
years.
aged well. It
No.
really has.
But that's kind of that's like the allure, I would say.
Running Man?
Yeah, I watched this super. Oh, you got the new boss. Uberheim is just dude, run for your life.
Yeah, I know.
Just stay away from him. This is the newest boss. We just kind of finished him off
I
a
love
few
him.
days ago, and this is kind of the new high watermark for just boss design in the game.
What was that like droid that just hit you? Did he shoot that?
Yeah, he mostly fights with drones. He throws drones
cool.
at you, and you have to kind of manage the mess he's making while
Yeah.
trying to do damage to him before he makes more drones.
Ugh.
But they drop ammo, which is nice.
Yeah.
So they're like the ads,
Oh
I
my
guess
gosh.
you could call them.
Yeah.
Not doing too badly. That.
Yeah, not too badly. Just,
Yeah, dude.
So would you just keep spawning more and more drones if you're not?
yeah,
Oh,
you
man.
really got. It's kind of a.
It's kind of a mess.
Yeah, I don't know if you've ever worked at a summer camp with small children, but
No.
it's similar. It's
If you don't blow the kids up in time, they just keep coming.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
it's
you just gotta keep fighting.
It's a numbers game, and you're on the losing side of that. Oh, what
Man.
happened? I thought you had it.
It's super cool
I
looking,
thought what?
It actually might be good timing. Yeah, unfortunately that might be all the time we have right now, but yeah. Damn, I have to take a deep breath after watching that game.
We go
Yeah.
for nonstop intensity.
That's awesome. So Black Future 88, Don and Zach, when can we play this as the audience?
Later this year.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah, late.
Will there be any will it be early access or are you just gonna release it?
No, we're working with Good Shepherd, and we're not doing an early access
Okay.
phase. But I think we actually have a lot of post-launch content.
Okay.
That I'm really excited about.
Cool.
So
And that'll be
it's gonna
releasing periodically, I'm assuming, afterward.
Yeah, and I think we're currently looking at some consoles, but we don't have anything to announce right now.
Okay,
so
cool.
I think
but right now PC, Steam.
Yeah, we're launching first on PC and
Awesome.
Steam.
Don and Zach, thanks so much for coming on and showing us Black Future 88.
Thanks, Mike.
Yeah, and have a good show tomorrow.
Yeah.
Have a good rest of the week at GDC. Congratulations on what looks like an awesome game. I'm looking forward to playing this. It was
thank
really
you.
fun to watch and play and everything. So thanks again.
Yeah,
have
thanks
a
so
good
much for
rest of
having
the week. And everybody, if you're watching right now, stick around. We'll be back on right after the break. We're going to be coming out with about 4 more developers to show off their games. And stick around. We'll see you then. everybody. Welcome back to GameSpot's Indie Mix live stream. I'm Mike Mahardy. Thank you so much for joining. We are showing off games here in town for GDC. I'm here with Sebastian, all the way from Warsaw, Poland. He's going to be showing us Carrion. So I'm excited for this. You made, early before, you made a platformer shooter. Were you working on the platformer shooter, the difficult, what was your previous project?
Butcher.
Butcher, and that was super hard. Everybody was known for being super hard.
Super skill-based.
Sure.
Super fast-paced, and etc.
Yeah. Can we expect some of that in Carrion?
Not really.
Okay.
This is more like, can I play already?
Yeah, yeah. We're going to get right into it.
Physics-based game.
Okay.
So you see, it's a bit.
Oh man. Okay. So you got these tendrils kind of pulling you around.
It's not as. You don't need to be as precise.
Okay,
as in
cool.
Butcher.
So from what I understand, you're kind of absorbing, like eating humans on the map?
Yes, of course.
Okay, and you're growing in size as you go?
As you can see, you travel through tight vent tunnels, and you can scare the people. They will try to lock you, lock themselves, but you can just rip away.
So it's like a horror game, but you are the monster.
Yeah, this is reverse horror. You don't feel the. You don't feel the fear. You instill it in others.
That's awesome. And so how many people total on the team are you working on it with?
So far it's 3 people. Okay. It may be 4 if.
Gotcha.
If we agree with some details.
Okay. So people are just everywhere now. So did you grow in size when you ate them?
Yes.
Okay, awesome.
I can see we were about half the size, Okay. So you can, explore. Oh, it's different obstacle. I can't pass through it right now. I need some skill.
Gotcha.
So, we need to go back here.
Okay, so like you're kind of like looking for upgrades to the monster, so to speak?
We're looking for upgrades.
Okay.
We're looking to. Our aim is to escape the facility and find the spot to grow a hive.
Those animations are very gruesome.
Oh, I see some glitches. I need to fix it.
Oh yeah. So is there like backstory to where you are? Is this Earth? Is this some other planet, or is this?
Honestly, this is undecided yet.
Okay.
So yeah, but there are some variants. I would rather not talk about them yet, because everything might change at this point. Oh, also, the interaction with objects. He's confused right now. I can open the door like a regular person, if I can say that.
So are the humans any danger to you? The ones with guns, I'm assuming, can hurt you, right?
They have guns and they can shoot me. Okay. I can approach them from different hiding spots. Okay. Torture them.
There you go.
Rip their heads off.
Okay. Naturally.
Yes, of course. This is the must-have feature. This is the turret. Okay. I can't touch it because I get shocked. Okay. And it starts to shoot at me, but I can run away. Okay. So interaction is. I'm using a mouse.
Sure. Is there any way to destroy that turret, or is it just all avoiding it?
You can. Maybe not in this level, but you could disable the turret with some puzzles like switches, maybe some other future gameplay features. So you can do that.
So by eating these humans and growing in size, is that giving you any gameplay advantages, or is it just making you bigger?
Growing in size gives you more health, but you are slightly more clunky.
Okay. A little more vulnerable.
Yeah, you can see I have only 11. Health, but if I eat the human, I can replenish the health also, and my max health will increase.
Blood is just everywhere.
So there we have 66 max health now.
Okay, so you just increased by 6 with that.
We grew one cell. Okay. There are other types of enemies as well. Sentry drones.
Oh, that doesn't look good.
They will lock and shoot, but you can grab them and just So it's all interactions are fully physical. You can even do that.
Oh, that's awesome.
So yeah, we are about to get the skill we need to proceed further. So yeah, still physical interaction. This is the container, and you just read them.
Oh, okay.
So this is the very work in progress skill. Maybe.
So is that the dash you needed to get through those?
Yes, damage vents and wooden walls.
Okay, cool.
Grabbing just can deal with vents because they are weak.
Sure.
So now we can do that.
Would you say there are some like Metroidvania aspects to this game, so to speak?
Yes.
Okay.
Also, we think about sort of Zelda approach when it comes to level design. Cool. As in, we're not decided yet about that.
Yeah.
But it's possible that we will have separate levels like dungeons in Zelda.
Okay.
And overworld, and different kinds of overworld.
Okay.
So you can like backtrack, and it will be an interesting experience because it will change in time for some reason.
Cool.
As you progress, all this stuff.
Yeah. You should brute force your way through that wall.
Yeah, I had to pound through it.
Slam it.
Oh, did you see that?
Yeah.
That part.
He's dead.
Oh
man.
Killed me.
Cool.
So yeah, I tried to speedrun
Yeah.
this time.
Cool. Well, so
the frame rate is pretty low when I connect it to the HDMI. I don't know why, but okay.
Yeah. Okay.
The game is playable. Probably that's the reason I noticed a glitch. But okay.
So is the level design the same from time to time, or is it procedural or at all?
It's made by hand, but
okay.
But
so you can
the
learn
visuals are partially procedurally generated.
Okay. Cool.
So it's not everything that plays by designer. Oh, interactions. Yeah. I really want this game to be very interactive with the environment. So you can choose what to do.
I love those physics.
This physics is very simple.
Yeah.
But pretty effective, I guess. Also, we want to make the controls as. Oh no! Oh. It's very easy to die. It's very easy to die if you are.
Oh, that's the turret.
Yeah, that was a turret, and that's a flamethrower guy. I need to. Yeah, I grabbed him and add my own momentum to him. So yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say it seems like momentum does play a part, especially when you're like throwing vents and doors and stuff.
Yeah, I can destroy the hanging lights. I can just run away from someone screams from the. Oh, yeah. But that's a speed running aspect, maybe. You can just dodge if you choose to.
So do you have what's the ultimate goal for this monster that you're to win, I guess?
That's also undecided, but I think it will be something about being trapped inside a facility, or something like that. Okay. And you have to run away and just survive. So you prey on people, on animals, and something like that.
Okay.
I have only one health because I don't eat anything. Ouch! Trap! I stuck in my
almost got there.
So one more time. This time I won't.
Was that the flamethrower guy that got you? It looked like.
Yeah, I think a flamethrower.
That's I like how you go like you start on the menu screen and then move off of it. Or at least in this build, it looked like that's what you're doing.
I just press the shift button.
Okay. Those guys keep getting ambushed right in the bathroom, it looks like? With those toilets?
Maybe not yet, but yeah, the ambush thing is surely to be considered.
Yeah.
Like they try to lure you into the place where you're closed.
Okay.
But it's to be decided in the future part of the development. I missed him. So let's gain a bit health so I can run through them fairly effortlessly without being scared.
It's interesting that it's kind of like a power fantasy where you're the monster and just killing everyone, but then also there is still danger involved with the turrets and the flamethrowers and everything.
Yeah, sure, why not? Everything that makes you happy about this game.
Yeah.
That was close.
What was that? Oh, was that the flamethrower?
Yeah, I just dealt with him too quickly to be
Gotcha.
necessary. I just tried to speedrun the game with 9. I just want to show the end of the level.
Okay. So it's divided into levels?
Now it's just a single level. So
and then you get the dash and you can go to that new.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I said before, we're still undecided to go fully Metroidvania.
Sure. Yeah.
Or more divided way, like Zelda dungeon overworld thing. Or Mario or something like that.
So they can hear you before you come in?
They can hear me, and they just turn around and try to...
Oh, here we go.
Okay, here we go. This is a new area. We are dissolving in water to a swarm of worms that will be useful later.
So did you just became like a different kind of organism in the water?
Something like that.
Okay.
Maybe this is the same biomass, but organized differently because of water.
Sure.
I will eat some guys to replenish the health. Eating is just... Oh. As you can see, they aimed at the sailing because they heard some gunshots and eating some probably. So
Still got it. Oh, there he is.
So yeah, now I can pass through that.
Oh, because you got the dash, right?
Because I have the dash.
Gotcha. You're huge now.
Yeah, huge. And now I can utilize the water potential. Because you can see I can pass through that place if I'm solid. But in water, no problem. Okay, we're almost there.
Okay. So what kind of things in the game are you personally working on? Are you, do you have someone working on the art and then you're like, what's your role?
Yes, I'm working on the art, but cool. More importantly, I work on level design.
Cool.
No, level design, sorry. Programming.
Oh, okay,
level
gotcha.
design guy is...
so the raw arrays and
sorry for that.
No worries.
I don't want to take all the credit.
So I saw the water raised, so then
yeah, the water raised, so it allowed me to pass through that.
Cool. Oh my god.
So okay, we are
they're dead.
In the correct place to spread our hive. So we just grab it.
Okay.
And something grows out of it.
So like as of now, the objective is to just keep growing?
Keep growing and reach the correct place to put your priceless biomass. Okay. Precious biomass.
Gotcha. So that's Carrion. Thank you so much, Sebastian, for coming and showing off the game. You'll be at the Indie Mix stream tonight.
Yes.
People, if you're watching that, I highly
Please
encourage
come and play.
Yeah, definitely.
Yourself.
And go, if you happen to be around, go check out Carrion. And then you'll be here for the week for GDC in San Francisco.
Till Friday.
Cool. Awesome. And thanks so much for coming in. And we really appreciate you showing off the game.
Yeah,
it looks great. I'm a fan of horror games, so I like the idea of playing from the other side of it as the monster. Kind of in a sense.
Me too. I was always a fan of that kind of games.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you everybody who joined to watch, and if you are watching, stick around. We're going to take a short break and bring on the next team. We're going to show off another game. But thanks so much for joining, and we'll see you then.
Thanks. And bye.
Hey everyone, welcome back to GameSpot's Indie Mix live stream. I'm Mike Mahardy here, and we are showing you a bunch of the coolest games coming out of GDC this week while they're all in San Francisco. I'm here with Steve Philby from Motion Twin.
How you going, man?
Good. I'm sure, as opposed to the first few games we've shown today, a lot of people will be familiar with Dead Cells, because it's been in early access, and it kind of, obviously, it drew a lot of attention. I played a lot of it myself, between how it's like maybe a roguelite game in general, but also just like the progress you're taking through its platforming and combat. But you guys, you're getting ready to say the game's coming out of early access later this year?
Yeah.
Cool.
So basically where we're up to now is we just released our last sort of major content update, in the sense that, levels and bosses and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And now basically what we're doing is just working on finishing the game.
Cool.
Had a lot of people asking about, when are you going to finish the game and stuff on Steam. And so the answer to that is in the next couple of months.
Cool. I was going to say, because it was one of those games where you're playing in early access, I'm thinking to myself, it doesn't even feel like an early access game. I'm not even sure what they could add, but you have been adding stuff progressively, right?
Yeah. So basically, since the update, we've done, what, six major updates in terms of levels, bosses, all that kind of stuff.
Cool.
So I'm going to take that. But I guess the biggest sort of additions have been stuff that's come out of the community in terms of adding new mechanics and different ways of playing the game. So for example, when you started, you didn't have any of this fire damage kind of stuff. You didn't have any of the sort of poison damage stuff. That's all things that we've added on.
So I think the last time I played it was over the holidays. So I'm trying to remember what might be new for me personally.
Probably for you, if you haven't seen, I guess, the last big boss, that's going to be the latest update that would have come out. Cool. So that's what, this whole Hand of the King thing. So there's a big guy who's waiting for you, which means there's also the last 2 levels, which are new. And then obviously, the same thing we do with all the updates is new enemies, new weapons, all the kinds of new items and stuff. I'm going to go with tactics. And then again, more of those system changes. So for example, I'm not sure if you would have seen, maybe over the holidays you would have seen the Foundry update. So we completely redid the balancing of the entire game.
Okay.
So we added, for example, you can see some of these weapons here are multicolored.
Gotcha.
I can't afford any of them, unfortunately. But that means that you can now play a lot of different builds for a long period of time. It was just you're going to take brutality because that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's just always the most viable build.
Sure.
And now we've made it so that you can mix things right up, and that's where we've been really working on things.
So that was just mainly about balancing and kind of adding more variety for your playstyle.
Yeah, exactly.
More choice to your playstyle.
Exactly. I'm playing with something right now that I would never play with ordinarily. I'm playing with the torch, which is
I was gonna say it's not my choice, but you're doing well.
Yeah. So basically, I'm just going to try and get.
I love that downward attack so much. The game just feels great. I remember right away when I first started playing it back, would have been last fall maybe when I first played it, and we were talking about it on our live show. It just immediately feels good. Between the dash, the dash kind of I'm one of those people who I prefer games where I can actually dash and move about as opposed to blocking and everything, and that's why I love the builds in this.
Yeah, well,
feels so good.
I mean, that feeling that you're talking about is something that we worked on extensively for months and months and months. I mean, our lead designer and gameplay programmer Seb, he's a bit of a nutcase when it comes to that kind of thing, so it doesn't feel exactly right. He's going to spend ages on it fixing it.
Right.
I'm going to skip this guy. But my modest contribution to the game was actually that role. So I was playing at the time Mamadora. I don't know if you've heard of that. Memory of Moonlight, which is this little 2D side scroller, but
yes, it rings a bell.
Yeah. Anyway, it's got this role in it that felt really good, and we used to have a dash, and I was like, why don't we try this?
Gotcha.
And so the guys at first were like, yeah, we'll see, and then they played it and tested it out, and we're like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
So we put that in. So it's always just about iterating until we find something that feels like you say. Just you pick it up and you're like, oh, cool.
One of the obvious everybody compares stuff to Dark Souls nowadays. Anytime you have deliberate combat, people compare it to Dark Souls, even though other games do it. But as far as refilling your health flasks, that's kind of something. Did you actually draw inspiration from Dark Souls? Were those comparisons well founded, or was it just one of those things where people were categorizing it like that?
Well, that's actually something that even we ourselves categorized it sort of that in the beginning, because we were paying a lot of attention to that sort of deliberate combat, reading the patterns of the monsters, and making sure that when you move forward, you're going to think carefully about how you do that.
Of course, in a 2D plane, right?
Yeah, exactly. Obviously on a 2D plane, so more the guys from Salt and Sanctuary did.
Right.
So there was that sort of reference in terms of the difficulty, in terms of particularly the way the weapons change your combat style. So each weapon, you know, like I'm throwing this burning torch around right now. That doesn't play anywhere near like, for example, those sandals that I've just picked up.
Sure.
And it doesn't play anywhere near like a big broadsword. Having said that, as we've advanced, we've moved further and further away from that kind of Dark Souls influence.
Right.
So now I sort of think it would be a little bit unfair of us to say, oh yeah, it's Dark Souls-like.
You just developed an identity of your own.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's just the community who've come back to us and said, you know what we like? We like moving fast. And you know, there's not any of that in Dark Souls.
Yeah, I mean, being in early access, what's it like being able to get feedback, you know, in real time?
Amazing.
Yeah.
That's one of the principal reasons that we did it, to be honest, is because, you know, it's a roguelike game, so you're going to be dying and retrying, and so the balance is everything in this game, and we knew that we couldn't do that ourselves, so we were going to need that.
Because how many people are at Motion Twin working on Dead Cells?
So the full, like the actual development team is 7.
Okay.
So 2 graphic artists, and 5 programmers, and then you've got, you know, like myself and the rest of the guys taking care of all the extra, you know, day-to-day stuff of the studio.
Yeah.
Oh no, getting pumped. Sorry, I'm just gonna have to. Yeah, I'm gonna have to play just for 1 second.
I'll let you fight it.
All right, but whoa, yeah. So 7 of them, and I mean, it's hard. Like Seb's the lead gameplay designer, and so he'll be by himself, like in front of spreadsheets, like looking at all these like you know, lines and curves exactly, and he's trying to work out, like scratching his head, and then we'll have people who've played the game for hundreds of hours, so way more than we, because we don't have time to play the game anymore. And so they'll come to us and be like, you know what we noticed? Like when you hit this like last level here that takes you about 35-40 minutes to get into the run, if you're playing with this particular item, that's, you know, it's really just sort of not viable. Here. And that information, you know, unless we were actually going to sit and play 10 half-an-hour runs ourselves, we just can't get. So
when you could be, you know, working on the game.
Yeah, exactly.
Sure.
So that's
awesome.
That's wonderful.
I mean, just watching it and like seeing, you know, obviously you got the upgrade that lets you grow those vines to climb up.
Yep.
It's tough because when like, especially when like a game from a smaller team who doesn't have the marketing of like a AAA company, when it comes out, I think the easiest way to recommend a game to someone is to compare it and like categorize it, right? Like, oh, this is like Dark Souls, but also like a Metroidvania. But like now it's funny when I mention Dead Cells, I don't have to compare it. People are just like, oh shit, that's coming out in a few months. That's awesome. Like things do develop an identity of their own, and it's nice to not have to just like compare it to each of its aspects to its inspirations, but it's wholly its own thing. Yeah,
well, that's something that again, like when we started developing the game, we're sort of thinking, how can why did I do this build? This sucks. So when we started out developing, we're like, how can we explain what this is to people really quickly? You know? And so, you know, one of the developers, he was like, it's like, you know, we were saying, oh, it's like a roguelite with sort of Metroidvania aspects into it. And he's like, why don't we just call it a Roguevania? And it was one of those kind of moments that guy's brilliant.
Give him a raise.
And so we did that. But now, as the game's progressed, we sort of feel like, you know, we have less and less of a claim towards the title of Metroidvania. It's very much a roguelike game now.
In like 5 years, maybe people will say Dead Cellsmania.
Yeah, something like that. It's become its own thing, and so now we're kind of like reluctant to say, oh, it's this type of game.
Sure.
And we're going to more just say it's Dead Cells fast-paced action platformer, if you will. This guy's got to scroll for me.
Are there anything else, any other aspects that changed through feedback? Like you said, you found out through feedback that people really liked the agile aspects of it and how you can actually move fast. Were any other major tenets that did change, or was it kind of just like all about iteration?
Any major tenets that changed? I think potentially, like that Metroidvania aspect of it. Initially, when we first started out, we wanted to do some stuff whereby, that was dangerous, whereby we were going to, for example, limit certain weapons to certain areas and try and give it more of that exploration-y Metroidvania feel. And then it's just like, you find something that works, and so you go with it. And we've just left that out and focused much more on, okay, we're going to randomize everything a lot more. And we're going to give you the option to create any kind of build, no matter where you are in the game. So, this guy.
You're doing well for also talking. I can't really do that.
Well, we're actually working on between you, me, and the doorpost, the Switch version of the game.
Oh, awesome!
And so I've been extensively testing that version of the game. So I've been playing it quite a bit recently.
How does it play like handheld?
It's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie, it's very cool.
It's always tough when like a skill-based game goes to handheld because you don't have the same balance you do with a controller and everything. It's always tough to work that out.
Yeah, I mean there is that question with the Switch because it sits in your hand differently. And like obviously I prefer playing with the Pro controller or with the Joy-Cons in their little mini Joy-Con imajiggy.
I mean even Dark Souls coming to Switch soon is going to be interesting to see. I'm curious about that.
Yeah,
I'll almost always play that on the Pro controller, but who knows? Did you play Hollow Knight last year?
Yeah, I did quite a lot.
I like that too. I mean, you mentioned Salt and Sanctuary, which is a great game. I think Salt and Sanctuary and Dead Cells have a few more similarities, but as far as like Metroidvania aspects in a 2D world, Hollow Knight's more like open-ended and maybe not as focused, definitely not as focused on combat, but I loved Hollow Knight.
Yeah, I think, well, I mean, a lot of people have made that sort of a comparison, obviously, to like games that have done really well coming out at the same time with that similar claim to fame of Metroidvania in there.
Seems like there is like a mini renaissance of Metroidvania. You know, like I mean, game development is so cyclical, and like games like this will come out, and everybody will be back into them, and then games like this will come out. But it's nice to see these doing well. Yeah,
well, I think it's funny actually. Like from my perspective, I'm sitting around looking at games and following the press all the time, and sort of thinking, oh, I really want to play this type of game. And it's interesting to see how few of those games there actually are when you start to look. Oh, what? What happened then? That was outrageous.
Is it a headshot?
I don't know what the heck that was, but I'm not happy about it. Man, he like one-shotted me. Okay. Oh, I must have like a 2 times damage dealt. Yeah, I do. I have a double damage. So yeah, I think Hollow Knight and this have some kind of similarities, but then that's like goes back to what I was saying about us moving away from saying, whoa, I'm done, saying Metroidvania.
There you go.
Because we're really focused on that roguelite. Like, you know, in Hollow Knight, you die, you go back a little bit, you come back and you redo that part of the game. Yeah. Whereas now I'm starting the whole thing again. So. Yeah. But
it helps that this is more combat oriented because it's just like you might be starting over, but it's still like fun right at the beginning. It's not something like you're not progressing through something that might feel kind of like a grind.
Yeah, well, and that's one of the big differences between the game and something that we've definitely put a lot of emphasis on was to say, okay, Hollow Knight is classical Metroidvania in the sense that when you start out, you're very limited in what you can do. You know, you've got this little sword that doesn't reach very far. You're easily knocked back. Whereas Dead Cells goes in the opposite direction. In Dead Cells, right from the very first run, you're always like, whoa, I can move, I'm fast, I'm dangerous. You know, and that's a clear design choice, something that we put the emphasis on and said, okay, well, this is what we want to make our game like. Yeah, so that's where we're at from that side of things. I don't know. Get out of here.
So yeah, unfortunately, might be coming up on all the time we have, but yeah, I'm excited. So you said like toward the end of the year, you're going to actually be releasing the game in full outside of early access.
Yeah, so towards the end of the year, full version outside of early access. We'll also be bringing the game to Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, Xbox One.
Cool.
So,
and those will all release simultaneously?
Yeah, everything will come out simultaneously. Well, I mean, unless we stuff something up really badly, but we're working on it. We're working on it, and everything's coming along nicely.
Here's hoping it doesn't happen, but awesome. Thanks so much, Steve, for coming on, showing us Dead Cells. Of course, like I said, a lot of people, like, especially if they follow GameSpot often, they probably played this. We played it a lot and everything. But we really appreciate you coming on to show us while you're in town for GDC, and I know you'll be around the Indie Mix later, so people can catch that as well. But yeah, in the meantime, later on this year, you'll be able to play Dead Cells outside of early access on Switch, PS4, Xbox One, PC. Yep. Pretty much any way you want to play games. I mean, it's not on mobile, but well, how would this be? But anyway, Steve, thanks so much for coming on and showing us. We really appreciate it.
No worries,
and if you're watching, stick around. We're going to be coming on 2 more games on our GameSpot Indie Mix stream. Thanks so much for joining. We'll be right back. Hey everyone, we are back with the GameSpot's Indie Mix live stream. We are having the developers that are in town for GDC onto our stream. We are lucky enough that they're all in one place this week. I'm here with Rufus from 11-Bit Studios.
Hi, hello.
We're going to be showing off Frostpunk, a game that I'm particularly excited about. Right now, the release window is sometime in 2018, later in the year, supposedly.
Actually, we already have the date. So it's 24th of April.
Awesome. So not too far off. So you're showing off the game like what, a month before it comes out. So yeah, we're just going to start a new game. And so what's the elevator pitch for this game? You know, like steampunk city building is like what the tagline is, but how would you describe the game?
Yeah, I would like to describe it as a society survival game.
Okay.
Because it has city building mechanics, but your main goal is to survive as a society.
Okay. Cool.
So that's the main idea, basically.
Okay. So yeah, we're starting off with a new game. And so would you say it's more... like, is it even a post-apocalypse, or is it just like an alternate reality, I guess?
Yeah, it's like an alternative history set in 19th century.
Gotcha.
That's why we have the steampunk setting.
Right.
But the steampunk setting also made sense for us because how do you fight with cold, right? You are fighting with something hot, something that can generate heat. So you are fighting with steam, basically.
Okay. It looks really good. Like, how many people are working on the game?
Our studio is up to 100 people right now, from which like 80, I would say, is working on Frostpunk. Yeah.
Gotcha.
This is the beginning of the game. Actually, this is like a pretty exclusive build. This is the first time we are showing the newest build to the people. And the main goal at the beginning always is to gather some coal, because you need the coal to generate, to activate the generator. So you people basically won't freeze to death, right?
Sure, yeah. And that's your main resource, at least at the beginning?
Yeah.
Okay.
You also have wood and steel, which are more like construction resources.
Gotcha. I see you have your settlers, would you call them, or your people coming out of the main tower?
You have three types of people. So you have normal workers, which can do almost everything.
Okay.
You have engineers, which are fit for more, I would say, professional works, like in the workshop, more scientific stuff.
Okay.
And then you have children, which can be used as workers, but you may also choose to protect them and not use them to do any job.
There's some like morality choices to it. Oh,
yeah, there's a lot of morality choices.
Gotcha.
We will get into that right away.
Cool. Oh, I see. That's cool the way they're moving through the snow. They actually have to clear the snow out.
Yeah.
I like that.
What I'm doing here is I'm building a road so they can make it faster.
Okay.
Because the snow path will get covered in snow when it's snowing, right?
Sure.
Makes sense.
I see like a time of day changing with the shadow.
Yeah. We have full day and night circle.
Okay.
At night it's getting colder.
Sure.
You have the heat map here, which I will show in a second when we activate the generator. And you can see the difference then.
Cool.
Actually, we already have some coal, so we can start the generator.
Gotcha.
So now when you go to the heat map, you can see that this area is being
and so,
hot enough. Yeah?
So with your people, I'm assuming, is it like they can go out into the cold for a certain amount of time, but at some point they need to come back and warm up, or does that like kind of radiate outward? Is that an area of effect?
Yeah, basically it's like an area of effect. You can upgrade it later on with different steam levels, different range settings. You can also put your generator on the overdrive during like very cold nights, so your people will survive.
Cool.
But then you need to avoid, this bar going up, because this is the stress level, and if it goes 100%, your generator will explode, and that basically ends the game.
Gotcha.
So you have to be very, very careful with that. Here you can see some quests that we are receiving, because the main campaign is quite story-driven, quest-driven.
Okay.
So it's not like a open box, sandbox city builder. You have to do new stuff all the time. You have to keep progressing.
Gotcha. And so I'm assuming you have like teams of writers on the team, right, that were writing the campaign. Awesome.
So there's main story, and there's also some like lore bits that you can discover later on.
All right.
What I'm doing here is I'm building a hunter's hut,
So the build plots are like radial, circular around the tower. Cool.
Again, it makes sense because you want to keep as close to the generator as possible.
Yeah, and also, does building along that road speed it up or help workers get to there faster?
Yeah.
Or? Okay,
yes. Cool. And here is our first choice. Our people are asking us to build some shelters because they are freezing to death in the cold.
Sure.
So I'm deciding to give them some shelter. So I only have to provide shelters for half of the people that I have in my society right now.
Would it have used up more coal if you got shelter for everybody or a certain resource?
I would have to provide shelters for all the people, which is kind of difficult at the beginning. Mm-hmm. You don't have enough resources to put, I don't know, 10 tents at the beginning.
Okay, gotcha.
Even now I only have resources for 3, so it still won't be enough.
Okay. So will the entirety of this playthrough be based around this specific generator, or can you branch out and make other ones, or is it you trying to revolve around this one?
Yeah, in the main campaign you are revolving around the main generator here, but there will be different scenarios available in game. We are not spoiling them yet, so I'm not telling anything more at this moment, but there will be different scenarios in the game.
Cool.
And again, when you are making some decisions, you need to be sure that you are making them and you are not being like pressed by your people, right?
Yeah. It's like the burden of being the leader, kind of, right? It's interesting. You don't often see RTS games combined with survival, but like now that I'm seeing it, it's like, did you have like inspiration for like, where'd you get the inspiration for how to do this? Because it seems pretty unique.
Part of the inspiration is This War of Mine, our previous game, which was still a survival game about small group of people, right? Sure. Here we want to like widen the scope. Yeah. So now we have a whole society, a whole city. But we also, you know, we read some steampunky books. We watched some steampunky movies. Okay. We also read some like logs from people going to the mountains and trying to survive in the high mountains. So it's partly inspired by that as well.
Gotcha. And I see you're so you're managing the morale down here, discontent and hope.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can also see the reasons why they are discontent and why they are hopeful, basically.
So yeah, I'm assuming maybe the reasons for discontent will potentially grow later on in the playthrough.
That's one of your main obstacles later on.
Okay.
And that's why we also have the Book of Laws. To set up new rules in the city. Okay. So a lot of people, when I watch like streamers playing Frostpunk, they usually send children to work. Yeah. So I will show you the different option here to build and provide child shelters. And again, this is something that will give hope to your people.
Okay. Whereas if you put them to work, you would get more resources, but maybe discontent would grow. Okay, that's really cool.
You will have like a more human resource, but still, it's not safe for them to work, right?
Yeah,
and what you are doing here is usually there's in games like that you have a lot of micromanagement, like in Warcraft or Starcraft. Here you are rather managing groups of people. So I'm asking people to work in the hunter's hut or gather the coal, but I'm not selecting each unit and putting them to work. I'm just selecting groups of people, so it's still more like a city builder management game and not like an RTS.
Sure.
In a classic sense, I would say.
Yeah. So when you mentioned a campaign, will there be specific characters, or is it kind of when you said is there like a story revolving around groups like you just mentioned, or like will there be specific characters we might get to know?
The main story revolves around why the Earth is frozen.
Gotcha, okay.
You try to discover why it's frozen, but your main goal in general is to survive.
Okay.
So you are doing everything to survive.
Right.
And by everything, I really mean everything, because there are some laws regarding cannibalism, for example.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Or later on you can choose a path of order which can lead to like a totalitarian state, basically, which is not nice to your people, but
it's interesting to see like what kind of choices, what kind of like leader people will become, right? Like, and then if you're just trying to be completely good all the time, that might not be best for survival.
That's basically the main question that we are asking. What kind of leader will you become when you are pushed to the limit?
It's really cool. I love the tracks in the snow, as opposed to the snow just being aesthetic. It's actually like slowing them down. And so presumably later on the base will start radiating outward, being bigger and bigger.
Yeah, you will upgrade the generator to have the more heat outside, and you can expand the city.
Are there any outside forces in the world aside from the cold, like animals or some sort of things that the people need to defend against?
They are, but usually it's like quest-based during the exploration phase. I don't know if we will have enough time to show the exploration phase here, but I will try to make it work. But for example, you can meet some bears attacking people out there. And then you have a choice to engage the bears or try to escape. And of course, your decision will influence the story in some way. But yeah, the main enemy, so to speak, is the cold, the overwhelming cold all the time. So here I'm building the workshop, which is like your main science area. Thanks to this, you will be able to discover new technologies.
Upgrades and whatnot?
Yeah, exactly. So this is the technology,
Cool.
So you have all the different categories. What I'm going for here is the beacon, because I want to show the exploration. I may be rushing some things here, so we may die eventually or lose.
That's understandable.
But I just want to show different mechanics during this playthrough.
So it is like a common thread, right? In this war of mine, it was often asking you to make difficult choices, right? As survivors during the war, until until the ceasefire was called in that game, which you don't know when it's going to come. You're just trying to make the best choices you can. It's interesting to see you, rather than managing a smaller group of survivors, now you're doing similar things, but with a massive, settlement in a city that you're trying to build up.
Yeah. So another decision that I'm going to make, because it's really needed. Let's try to activate the emergency shift, which will make people work during whole day and whole night.
Just the whole 24 hours?
Yeah. So they won't be happy about that. My discontent will rise.
Gotcha.
But we really need the resources to, survive. So let's push some limits here.
So the discontent said lack of shelter and the emergency shift.
Yeah.
2 emergency shift.
So you have to balance that all the time.
It's almost like, probably just because of the city building and the leadership aspects, but there are elements of like a civilization game, right? But except not turn-based, right? This is real time and also much darker and more grim than a civilization game would be. I mean, you can nuke people in civilization, but the choices aren't always pushing you to your moral limits, I wouldn't say.
Yeah, we always like to show the human perspective, right? That's why each character here has a name, has its status, family status. It's all here, basically.
Those names are very steampunk. Gideon, Churchill, and Owen Everard.
Yeah. Cool. So we have like a name generator for London-based English names, I would say. Which we had to tweak, not to generate names like Harry Potter, for example, to
of course,
avoid some copyright stuff.
Yeah.
So let's speed things up. Emergency shift again.
It's gonna make people unhappy, right? Yeah. 3 emergency shifts.
Listen, it's not easy living in a frozen wasteland, right?
Reminds me of what was the movie, the Korean movie, Snowpiercer?
Snowpiercer, yeah. Actually, pretty good movie.
Yeah.
One of the inspirations for some stuff here.
Yeah.
Finally, we have the beacon, and soon we will be able to build it. I will not activate another emergency shift.
So what happens if their discontent reaches the full bar?
Basically, it's like a fail state.
Okay.
The same as the hope drops to 0. You need to avoid the stuff. So, your choices are leading to some not so cool results.
Oh, yeah, like a heart attack, or what was likely a heart attack?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, let's go with the more good option here.
Okay.
Not to generate more discontent.
Okay.
But again, then you can decide what to do with the corpses, right?
Okay.
Should we build a cemetery, or should we have like a massive corpse disposal?
Oh.
And again, this will influence the ending of the game.
So if you just leave them there, obviously, like it's not going to take people to dig a pit, but you're also, increasing discontent or decreasing hope. So you're trying to prevent discontent from reaching the max. You're trying to prevent hope from reaching the minimum. Presumably, is there like a population count that you're trying to keep pretty high? 10. Okay. If that goes down, is that a fail state as well, all the way down?
Yeah, basically yes.
Gotcha.
People can die if they get sick or during the events, during the exploration events. What we can finally do is to build the beacon. This is something really cool I wanted to show you. When we are building this kind of important buildings, you will have this kind of cool animation, like again in Civ games when you build like a wonder in your city, something like that.
Cool.
And it's a very important moment because before this phase you are kind of blind, you are only in this hall. Now you have eyes outside the hall and you can send expeditions. So this is like a huge moment for your city.
You're not as isolated.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
And this is the exploration map. Yeah.
It's way bigger than I thought it would be.
So at the beginning you only have 2 locations to explore, but every time you explore one, you will get more to explore, right?
Yeah.
So it's getting bigger and bigger all the time. And as soon as we can, we can send them already, send an expedition to our lost expedition. Some people were lost here, so we will try to rescue them. It will take 10 hours to get there for our scouts. So in the meantime, you can still manage your city.
Do they have to are they ice climbers kind of to get out of this hole, so to speak?
Yeah.
Or? Okay.
Yeah. Later on, maybe they will be different types of, different ways to get out.
You said you were reading some books about people that went into the mountains and whatnot and tried to survive. Did you read about like the Donner Party in America? In the Rocky Mountains, there was this party of travelers who kind of just
I'm
vanished.
not sure. I haven't read it personally, but maybe some guys from our team did.
Yeah, because overall, this just reminds me of it. But yeah, so that map, could you run into other cities that are being built, or you could spread out your to build more cities with other generators, or are you kind of focused on this one?
You are focused on this one mainly. Yeah. You can find different stuff. I don't want to spoil too much because it's like story-based. So I will show you some things, but not the bigger ones.
Sure.
We still need to provide the shelter, which I will try to do now. And this is the thing, all the time you have to remember about different stuff. You have to remember that you need enough coal to keep the generator running. You have to remember about all the quests. You have to remember that your expedition is somewhere out there.
Yeah.
You have to remember to make new laws, because it's useful, right? What I like to do is, I will give you an example. Chilled shelters seems useless at the beginning, because you are not getting anything from it, right? Only some hope or something very small reward. But later on, thanks to this, you can teach children to be medical apprentices.
Gotcha.
So they will help in the medical posts, and it's really useful because a lot of people get sick later on. So.
Awesome. So even some of the better, like some of the like more objectively good morality decisions will pay off if you're like in the long run.
They may pay off or may
might
not.
or not. Yeah.
It's not so easy.
Yeah. So unfortunately, we might be running up on all the time we have. Unless there's anything like last minute you wanted to show us while you're here.
I can show you. I will speed up the time, and I will show you the exploration event very quickly.
Cool.
So we get the idea how it looks.
Sure. I love the changing weather too between like the.
Yeah, it's getting even worse later on. Like all
there's like a full year cycle supposedly.
Yeah, I mean the game will last set amount of days, so it's not like months or years. Yeah, here's the exploration event, and basically you get like a small bits of lore each time you explore a new site, and then you can decide what to do. Should you explore further on, or maybe you want to escort the survivors to the city?
Okay.
I'm a good guy. I will escort them. It will shorten the trip for them, so I can get new survivors. That means new workers for me, new engineers, new resources, potentially.
What would have happened if you just sent them without escort?
They could die on the way, and it will take them longer to get back home, basically.
But you would have been able to keep your explorers out or something?
Yeah,
or
they could go further on different different sites.
Cool. So those will happen periodically, stuff like that, like exploration events when you send out expeditions?
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. Unless I'm coming back right now?
Yeah.
Sweet. I really love the artwork that comes up here on the
and we have really a lot of illustrations like that, like hundreds of them. So
awesome. Well, Rufus, thank you so much for showing us Frostpunk. Like you said, a lot of people have been streaming it already, you've been able to watch it, but it's from 11-Bit Studios who made This War of Mine as well as the expansion that came out for it. And it was really great to have you on, and I hope you have a good GEC week, and thanks so much. And remind me one more time, April 24th?
Yes,
you
exactly.
Play Frostpunk on PC?
On PC, yeah.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Rufus. And if you're watching right now, stick around. We have one more game to show you. Milanoir. We'll be right back after the break, so don't go anywhere. Hey everyone, welcome back to GameSpot's Indie Mix live stream. I'm Mike Mahardy. If you've been here all day, we are on the last game, but not the least, of course. I'm here with Pat from Good Shepherd Publishing, and we're going to be playing Milanoir. I'm going to be playing it, actually. Pat, you're going to kind of lead me around. So,
yes, sir.
Elevator pitch before we get into the game. What can we be expecting from Milanoir?
Okay, Milanoir is a top-down 2D action game that's inspired by sort of like 1970s crime films.
Okay, awesome.
So if you've ever seen like Caliber 9 or Almost Human, you'll definitely recognize some similar themes within this game.
Cool. So let's jump right in. And you said we'll be playing the first chapter, which is about 15 minutes? Mm-hmm. Okay, cool.
Yeah, so this is a little intro where you'll meet the character you'll be playing as.
Okay.
And then after that, we'll jump into the first chapter.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, so you'll be heading into the bar there.
So Jean-Luc should be bringing up B-roll at some point. Actually, hold on. Yeah, there we go. Okay, cool.
Nice.
All right, I like the aesthetic.
Yeah.
I got some sick hair, I see.
Oh, yeah. So this is 1970s Milan.
Okay.
And if you're not familiar with any of the films mentioned earlier, the devs are also big Tarantino fans.
Nice.
So as this plays out, you'll definitely see where they drew some inspiration from.
Okay. So you said someone I'm looking for in the bathroom?
Yes.
Okay. It's a clean bathroom. So it's largely story-driven. We're going through this 1970s Milan.
Yeah, so it's entirely like story-driven.
Okay.
And this is where you meet the character you'll be playing as.
Awesome.
So basically, what just happened was a rival mob tried to take you out. Unfortunately, they picked the wrong stall.
Gotcha. And I was standing on the toilet.
Exactly.
Awesome. Gotcha. Sweet.
Yeah, so now this is Piero. His line of work is in the organized crime field. So, yeah. Yeah.
I like the credits, opening credits over this too.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's a very
Vespa.
It's a mature game.
Yeah.
But with some pretty wild themes.
Okay.
As you'll see. So this first chapter introduces you to some of the gameplay mechanics. First of which will be stealth, and then it'll introduce the shooting mechanics.
Okay.
But basically, you are going to go after one of the top lieutenants of the gang that just tried to take you out.
Okay.
And that top lieutenant is known to frequent a certain brothel.
Okay.
So that's where this first chapter will take us.
Gotcha. Going into here. These guys know each other, or?
Yeah. So this guy here works for the boss that you also work for.
Okay.
So it's kind of like a rival.
Gotcha.
But this is your boss here.
A lot of strong Italian names.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, whoops.
I love that. Like every time he makes a statement, he slams his fist down on the table.
The whole screen shook.
Yeah.
Oh, so they're pushing into their turf.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. So am I like largely a hitman?
Yeah. Yeah, gun for hire, and then this will be the first rival mob member you'll be taking out.
Gotcha.
Which once you get to actually fighting against her, that's where the boss battle mechanic kind of kicks in.
Okay.
So let's see you hop on the Vespa, cruise up to the brothel.
It was very Italian.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, staying true to those Italian crime films, like the chase sequences are ridiculous and they're amazing. You'll see at the end of this.
Nice.
So here we are at the brothel. So that's the target.
Okay. She frequents this place?
Yes. Okay. This is the brothel, which she can be found at quite often.
Okay. This guy.
Oh yeah.
It's like the same guy. All right.
Yeah, and then if you cruise up the stairs to the left. So this is where it introduces the first sort of gameplay mechanic, which is stealth.
Okay.
So as you held left trigger, you'll crouch.
Okay.
And then you can roll. And then when you get close to a player, just repeatedly tap A, and you'll choke them out.
Gotcha. I love the spiral, the somersault. Some stuff going on.
Closing the blinds, yeah. Like I said, it's a very mature game. So if you hold left trigger, and then you got it.
Okay. Up here. Going all the way up. Oh, am I going through? Nope.
Just a little distracted, so yeah. Makes it easier to take them down.
Here we go.
So from this gentleman, we're going to try and find out where their top lieutenant is.
This dude, like the handler or whatever you want?
Yeah.
Right.
So he's trying to be a little sly with us right now.
The knife in the hand?
Yeah.
Or those chopsticks?
Yeah.
Never mind.
Some of the sharpest chopsticks in town.
Yeah. Sweet, got it.
All right, so now we know where she's at.
All right, cool.
Yeah, and then just to further explain the crouching mechanic. So as long as you're crouching behind an object, you're undetected, so that'll come into play once gunfire starts.
Gotcha.
Nice.
Oh, there's the red door. All right.
All right, here we go. Oh man, it appears she's not.
I wonder
in
where
here.
she is.
Yeah. Let's just check in here. What could possibly go wrong?
Oh man.
So there's our target.
Geez. Okay.
So this introduces the shooting mechanic, which will be a big part of the game. So right trigger is to shoot, and then right bumper is to reload.
Okay.
And as you'll see, like when you take damage, it'll sort of create this old film aesthetic on the sides. And as long as you're in cover, you'll slowly regenerate the health.
Gotcha.
There you go, nice.
Sweet. I think she went up here.
After.
Oh, whoops. No, I want to get behind that.
Yeah, so as long as you're behind cover, you won't take damage. But as soon as you start shooting, it does leave you vulnerable.
Okay, gotcha.
To be hit.
Oh, get away from me.
Dude, those, I think those are the most terrifying.
Yeah.
They
Trying
just
to hit
come
with like
charging
a
at you.
huge steak knife.
Yeah.
Damn it. You got me. I like the film stuff that comes up though.
Yeah, so when you die, you just start over right away.
Cool.
Pretty intuitive. There you go, you're picking this up fast.
Got past him that time. Oh. I don't even know if I'm...
There you go.
I like how it switched to like yeah, like side-scrolling shooter now.
Yeah. There you go, man. You picked this up quickly.
Yeah, yeah, the cover mechanics feel good. Oh man.
Yeah, and so in this, you just have the pistol right now, which is your base weapon, which you obviously have unlimited ammunition for. But as you progress, you'll pick up other weapons, pick up some projectiles, some Molotov cocktails and whatnot.
Sweet. Oh man. Oh god.
But yeah, so this is where it gets a little crazy. You just gotta try to survive as long as you can, because you will eventually run out of ammunition. Uh-oh. Oh, but just in time.
Oh man, who's this? Lucia.
So Lucia has been working in the brothel for a while, and she sees an opportunity with you as a way out.
Okay. Gotcha. She become a main character, I'm assuming.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet. Okay.
Yeah, so this is another mechanic in the game. If you see any street signs, you can shoot those, and the bullets will ricochet and pretty much always hit an enemy.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there's a street sign right there. Just saw it.
Yeah. The ladies with the knives are fearless in this.
Pretty horrifying, too. I like the street signs. Ah, there she is.
Oh, God, but she's got a plan.
Oh, shit, I didn't even realize I was controlling it.
So this is the first stage of where the boss battle starts.
Okay.
So in order to defeat her, you gotta shoot the street signs.
Oops. Dang.
Yeah, this one's it's kind of tough. It throws you in the fire.
Yeah.
Literally right away. There you go. So close.
There we go. There
nice.
We go. And she's bleeding quite a lot.
So she escapes. However, there's a backup plan. Check this thing out.
This is our chase vehicle?
Oh, yeah.
Sweet. All right.
All 25 horsepower of it.
So she's in the back shooting.
Yeah.
I'm controlling her
yeah,
too.
you're controlling both the shooting in the vehicle, and it'll get kind of crazy because certain cars will try and attack you, and then there was also guys on bikes who will be shooting at you as well.
There's construction too.
Yeah.
Of course.
And the fruit stands.
Yep.
In any chase sequence, there's always a fruit stand that gets destroyed.
Oh man, this does not look good.
Nice.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, this is sort of the last part of the boss battle.
Okay.
That's probably the trickiest bit.
Yeah, so I'm trying not to get shot and also not to crash into too many things.
Yeah. So one of the things that does make the game easier is that you can play cooperative. It has couch co-op.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Which, you know, obviously makes things quite a bit easier.
Sure. Yeah. All right. So now let's avoid crashing this time, because I feel like that's what keeps screwing me up.
Yeah, the guys on the bikes are sort of priority number one in terms of taking them out. They end up doing the most damage.
Dang. Those cars keep forcing me in there.
Nice escape. One for the sandwich, yeah.
That's my die like each time. Uh-oh. More fruit stands. I think I'm doing better this time.
Yeah, you're doing way better. And once you get past this part,
dudes on the Vespa, they're aggressive.
I do. The strongest Vespas in the room.
I like the music too.
Dude, it's so good. Yeah, it's got that, like I said, 70s Milan, so the music definitely captures that 70s funk.
Sure.
So, yeah, you just hit a checkpoint. Cops are gonna try and pull her over, but cops are no match.
San Vittore, is that a person or a place? She just said.
Yeah, I have to go back and read it. Nice. Yeah, so this is where it gets a little tricky. She's gonna try and ram you.
Okay.
And it's very difficult to avoid, but once she hits you, you can usually recover afterwards. Nice.
Yeah.
Man.
That should be fine.
Yeah. So now, as long as you can kind of stay out of her direct line of sight,
okay,
should be good.
It's a very 70s van, too.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
Oh, so close. Nice. Yeah, once you get the hang of the reloading and everything, it just becomes second nature. But you pick that up quickly.
Can you play this with mouse and keyboard?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I was gonna say.
Yep.
Seemed like it with the cursor. Once it wasn't me dying from the traffic cones.
Yeah.
Sweet.
So that was chapter 1.
Awesome.
Gives you an introduction to a couple of the characters in the game that you'll be playing as.
How many chapters are there?
A lot.
Okay. Cool.
I actually don't know. There's 3 acts within the game.
Okay.
You play as different characters.
Cool.
And yeah, we don't have a set release date yet, but it'll be coming out very soon.
Cool.
It'll be coming to PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Steam, and Nintendo Switch.
Awesome. Pat, thanks so much for coming on and showing us Milanoir from Italo Games.
Italo
Saying
Games.
that correctly? Yeah, cool. So that's like a 70s crime thriller set in Milan. But yeah, so that'll be coming out soon on the platforms Pat just mentioned. But everybody, thank you so much for joining us today for the Indie Mix live stream. We're lucky enough to be right down the street from where all these talented and intelligent developers are gathering throughout the week here in San Francisco, California. Obviously, if you're stopping by, we'll have a bunch of these videos. I'll try to, get them up and published on YouTube, GameSpot, if you want to watch them again. But before we end it, we're going to have Justin Woodward from the Indie Mix, who is developing all this stuff. He's going to come on at the last minute just to kind of talk about what Indie Mix is doing here this week. So stick around for that, and we'll have Justin on momentarily. Thanks for coming and stop by. Pat, thank you so much.
Thank you for having us. This
And I'll
awesome.
see you around this week. But again, stick around for Indie Mix. Justin Woodward's going to come on and talk quick. But thank you so much. Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm Mike. Thank you so much for joining us as we showed off all these indie games here. I am here with Justin Woodward from the Media Indie Exchange, and you wanted to come on and kind of talk about what Indie Mix is doing here all week during GDC and kind of what your mission is and everything, and supporting these indie devs. So I'll just hand it off to you.
Cool. I just want to say much gratitude for GameSpot for showing these amazing games. These guys really appreciate kind of the exposure because they're always looking for, a way to market their games because they're grinding, working on their games all the time and don't always have the chance to mingle and stuff.
Sure.
So I mean, we're here. We have an event tonight, the Mix Media Indie Exchange. And we're here. I'm a developer too, so if you guys didn't know that, we started this because a few of my friends and myself were trying to figure out ways to market our games because, like I said, we don't always have the time to go out and pitch and talk to people from GameSpot or the press or whatnot. So we're going to be showing 50 games tonight. They're going to be able to mingle with each other, talk about their games to the press, talk about their games to publishers and different possible partners, and there'll be first party like Nintendo and PlayStation there. So we're there to just basically help create relationships, just help network and work with indie devs to get the exposure that they need, to get their game out into the world. So that's pretty much it.
Yeah, we had a good time today. We got to play Black Future 88, Noita, Milanoir, Frostpunk, Dead Cells, and Carrion. I think I named them all. 6 of them, yeah. And then, of course, later on, we'll be streaming from the Mix itself. Will be hosting a live stream of about 6 more games, right? Like, obviously, that's not the only games that are here, but you know, some like that we wanted to really show on live stream. That'll be on Twitch, Facebook, YouTube.
I think right now it's just
cool.
Twitch and Facebook.
Twitch and Facebook. So you can go to the Media Indie Exchange. If you don't follow them on Twitter, that's probably the best way to get news, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Through that.
Twitter.
So they'll be announcing, showing off the link later. I'm actually pretty excited. I'll be hosting that as well. Be helping you guys out. I'm really excited. And I'll get to
be a good one too.
finally play some of the games. I just played Milanoir, but I didn't get to play any other ones.
Nice.
So I'm looking forward to playing those tonight. So that'll be at 8 p.m. Pacific. We'll kick it off.
Yep.
Awesome. But outside of that, thank you so much to everybody who joined, whether it was on YouTube, Twitch, or GameSpot, to see some of these indie games that we got to show off. And like Justin said, you know, like when they're busy making these awesome games, some of the teams are too small to really market too much. So that's kind of where we get to, you know, show some of our favorites off. And it was, as from a selfish standpoint, it was really fun for me to be able to, me and Jean-Luc, to be able to pick out which ones we wanted to show. But you know, luckily we get to see a few more later tonight. So if you are around, check that out. If you want to catch up on these games, I recommend people checking out the gameplay. We'll have these up on YouTube and GameSpot, or I myself will probably break them out and be able to watch these after the fact. But Justin, thanks so much for coming on.
Yeah, thanks a lot, man.
And we'll see you later. And then if all the people joining on GameSpot, thank you so much for joining. And in the meantime, we'll be streaming Sea of Thieves later, unless I'm horribly mistaken. Sorry, Tay, if I am. But I'm pretty sure we're streaming Sea of Thieves. Servers went live today at 2 p.m. So Nick, who won't shut up about the game, will be playing it. But anyway, thank you so much for stopping by to watch the Indie Mix live stream. We'll see you around.